Hi everyone. So for those who don't know me, my name is Rachel. I'm the owner of InnerFit Studios. And my goal with this session is just to help people when they start fresh in September with their fitness and their weight loss pursuits is to really understand the difference between goals and systems, because I believe that people have the best of intentions when they set a goal, but unfortunately the systems they have in place are what causes failure. Or to not reach or realize those goals. So what I want to do today is just walk you through a short little workshop, and hopefully you have a couple aha moments, and feel free to share this video with anybody that you find would enjoy it. So it's really important to understand that you do not need better goals. You just simply need better systems. We really have been hardwired to believe that in order to achieve our fitness and weight loss pursuits, or really any goals in terms of our lives, that we need to set better goals. And that simply just isn't true. But that has been a story that has been sold to us through marketing, and especially in my industry, which is the fitness and weight loss industry, for years and years and years. So what I want to do is I just want to really help you understand where goals come into play and why they are important in some respects, but also understanding what the systems are. So 2 book recommendations I'm going to make are Atomic Habits, which is a wonderful book by James Clear, and also How to Fail at Almost Everything and Still Win Big, which is by Scott Adams. Both of these books are the kind of books that you want to have a pen and a highlighter and a journal with you, because you're going to get lots of really useful information. So what I'm presenting you today are a lot of theories behind their research and their books, and just to kind of bring it into to play today. And but again, read these books. They're wonderful books if you're really in a place in your life where you're wanting to make some changes, but you just don't know how, or you feel like you really struggle and you have the best of intentions. This is where systems then can come into play to help you as well. So let's just start by understanding what is a goal. So a goal is an achievable outcome that is generally broad and long term. So we decide we want to change something in our life. Maybe we hit a point where we feel like we're kind of at rock bottom and we want to see some changes. When it comes to weight loss, it's generally you see a picture of yourself and you're frustrated. Maybe somebody makes an unfortunate comment and it really hurts your feelings and you just want to make a change. So these are the kind of things when it comes to fitness and weight loss, but it can be anything in your life. Just deciding that you want something different for yourself. So you say, I want to lose 50 pounds by December, or I want to have $1 million in my bank account, right? These are long-term and they're broad goals. The goal is really worked towards with a high amount of effort. So generally goals, for some reason, people with very task-oriented brains, or they're very type A personalities, they really work hard and they get to these goals. But we're going to talk about where goals fail, even those type A personalities. Then we want to understand really what a system is. So a system is simply just a repeatable set of actions, and systems should be simple. Unfortunately, we make this process quite complicated, or we don't realize that we have some negative systems that we're just naturally doing every day in play that aren't serving us. So systems allow us to reach and surpass our goals while avoiding many common pitfalls that goals bring. So when you have the right system in place that isn't wired around willpower, which is what goals are, then you're going to see how it actually serves you down the road and in the future. So let's just talk about goals versus systems. And here's just a simple introduction between the two. So a question I want to ask you, just to take a second and think about it. If you were to completely ignore a system, but you had a goal in mind, would you get the results you're looking for? Right? So you set a goal and then that's it. You've got your goal in mind and then you have to work towards it. Chances are, if it's just the goal, I'm going to take a leap of faith here and I'm going to say no. But if you were to completely ignore the goal, but you create a healthy system or a strategy in place, would you actually get the results you're looking for? And the answer is yes. So if you didn't even think about losing weight, but you knew you had about 20 pounds to lose, but you actually just started putting some systems in place on a daily basis, like maybe you realize you just want to get up and start walking because it makes you feel good. And every day, first thing in the morning, you started going for a 20, 30-minute walk, and that eventually built up to, you start your day with a 45-minute walk. Or maybe, you really found a place where you love working out and you started adding activity into your life more, you would lose weight, even if you didn't have a goal in mind because you set up a healthy system for you. So having the system in place is actually what's going to get you towards whatever goal that you want. So we really are hardwired to set a goal for the season, or when taking on a fitness pursuit or a financial pursuit or a relation pursuit. But it's been proven over and over and over again that goals by themselves simply do not work. And those that they do work for are very type A personalities. But there's going to be, again, like I said, there's going to be something we want to take into consideration when it comes to goals. What happens when the goal is finished? So a goal is set for you to give you direction, and a system is meant to move you towards the goals, which happens to create a really healthy lifestyle for you in process. So the system is going to create a beautiful life that you want to live, but the goal is just going to give you the direction. So you want to honor where you want to go. You want to have an idea of the things that are important to you. So you start by kind of mind mapping. I would pause this if you want, if you're going to do this as a workshop, take a second and just write down all the things that you want for your life. So maybe there's an ideal goal weight that you would love to be at. Maybe you would love to go hiking once a week. Maybe you're a runner and you'd love to start running some running events or marathons or half marathons. Maybe you have some ideas in mind. Maybe your goal is to, make sure that you don't get any diseases or cancers. You're trying to live a healthy life through nutrition. So your goal is to eat really healthy food on a regular basis. Your goal is to feel good. Your goal is to have less pain. Your goal is to have less injuries, or to minimize the injuries, or to not have injuries. So write down all the things that you would love for yourself to start. And that would be a really good place to start this workshop. So take a second, pause, write down all the things that you want for yourself, and don't write down the things that other people want for you. Take a second and think about what is really important to you. The next thing we need to do is we really need to take a second and start changing our beliefs, because we have been hardwired by these beliefs through marketing, through people in our lives, about what other people want for us. So let's say your goal is to lose 30 pounds by December, or perhaps you want to fit into a size 10 by Christmas. So these are going to be ambitious pursuits, but they can be measured by the outcome. But the reality is, it has little to do with our goals, right? First, you need to ask yourself why you want this. So if you're taking a look at that piece of paper and you're writing down all these things for yourself, ask yourself, why do you want it? Why do you want to lose 30 pounds by December? Is it important to you, or are you trying to prove yourself to somebody else? Are you actually wanting to fit into that size 10 dress because it's important to you, because you'll feel better by losing the weight, and that dress size is just something that feels good for you? Or again, are you trying to get ready for Christmas or a party or to show off or something like that? This needs to be intrinsic for you. So the next step is to really ask yourself, why do you want these things in your life? Why are these things important to you? Losing 30 pounds, getting to an ideal weight for your body that feels healthy, is going to make you feel good. It's going to make you stronger. If you're weightlifting, you're going to be building muscle tissue. You're going to live a long, healthier life. So there's some really good things that come with 30 pounds. But is it important to you for a reason? Okay, so start there. So you can set the most SMART goals, and I'm sure we've all heard about the SMART goals, and have the best of intentions, but still fail miserably. And it's not that you are a failure. It is that the goal system itself and the beliefs around goals are failing you, and we don't want that. So it is not the goal that matters. It is creating a really easy flowing daily system that has very little resistance to it, that we put in place, that have everything to do with our successes. So what are the problems with goals? Let's start here. Goals are very inflexible. They really lock you into an outcome in a world that is changing fast. So things in your life may be changing, and you set this goal, and now you've made this goal so inflexible because you have this belief tied around this goal that if you don't reach it, you are a failure, right? And that's not true. Some people get so focused on their goal that they lose sight as to whether the goal is healthy or not, or the pursuit of that goal is actually healthy or not. And then they become very inflexible. And this pursuit of the goal can actually change who that person is and make them very inflexible. And that's not good either. So it's important to have a goal, but you also want to make it flexible. So it's not destroying your life to get that pursuit of that goal or destroying relationships in that pursuit of that goal, right? Goals can also encourage very unethical behavior, right? They have been shown to lower performance, create a sense of self-failure when not realized, decrease our self-worth when we're not realizing the goals, decrease our self-confidence, and do things in the pursuit that can actually be dangerous, right? It's one of those things where at all costs, I'm going to do that. So let's say so recently I was training for a marathon, which was really, really important to me, and I was loving my running. And then I found out that my back injury was actually a lot worse than I had anticipated. And what I needed to do was adjust my goal. So instead of running the marathon, which was, really important to me, what I did is I changed my view of it, and I decided my niece and I, who's 12 years old, are going to run an 8K while my sister runs her half marathon. And now I'm looking forward to doing something with my niece because it's exciting that she wants to run, but also I needed to adjust that goal for now. It doesn't mean forever, but maybe my back is going to get better and I'll be able to do it next year. But right now I need to take care of what's important to me, and that's not having an injury for the rest of my life. So I needed to change the goal. I needed to be flexible. So the goal is still there to keep running and staying active, but I need to change the way I viewed that goal. And generally, this is what happens to the large majority of the people, is goals make you a failure most of the time. So when you set a goal, you're immediately setting yourself up for failure until you reach it, which in itself can be draining and demoralizing. And if you think about this, a lot of people decide, let's say their goal is to lose 50 pounds, and they get to 45 pounds. It seems like for some people it's just never enough because they didn't get to that 50 pounds, but they forgot that they actually lost 45 pounds. They literally changed their life. They're making healthier habits. They're feeling better, but that 50 pounds, because they didn't get to those 50 pounds, all of a sudden now they're a failure. You need to honor how far you've come and realize, wow, look how far I actually got by having a goal in mind, because that goal just really became, a way to give you direction in your life. And that's all a goal is meant to be. It's what you learn along the way when you set that direction or that course of direction in your life. That's how we should be approaching goals, okay? So goals versus systems. A really famous quote by James Clear, who wrote The Atomic Habits, is you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. So if you have a system in place that is not serving you, your goal is not going to be actualized or realized. So we want to think about the systems that we're putting in place. So goals versus systems. So goals are the targets you want to achieve, while systems are the processes you put in place in order to achieve the goal. Goals tell you where you want to go, and they are future focused. Systems tell you what you need to do every day to get there, and they're focused on today and being present. Therefore, you get to celebrate those wins. Goals are what you enter into that Google Maps to point you in that direction, but is your systems that make you reach your final destination. Okay? So when you begin to build productive systems to achieve the goal or push you into that direction where you want to go, the life you want to create, you begin to see advancements in your results. A system is designed to make it easy for you to regularly repeat and get you to your goal without much friction, right? So the purpose of a system is to help you move you forward, but if you need to have willpower in that system, it's the wrong system. You're not putting the right system in place, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Okay. So the question I have for you, and you can pause here, is how are you going to make it easy for yourself? Because willpower cannot be a factor. You cannot fight a system every single day. The system has to be put in place, right? Another thing to think about too, and this is important with the relationships with the people in your life, if you have a system in place, do you have people in your life that will help you move you forward or will support you or, cheer you on? Are those people in place? That's also part of having a system in place. Who is in your life that keeps showing up for you? Who is in your life that helps you when you're struggling with a system or you're struggling with a goal? Who is someone that you can talk to? So those relationships with the people in your life, you don't have to do this by yourself, right? That's where accountability partners come into place. That's where having, healthy relationships come into place. Who in your life can you depend on, who keeps showing up for you, and who will help you create systems? Or if they notice that you're kind of off track, who's going to help you kind of get back on track? It doesn't always have to be you. I just wanted to do a little side piece on that one. There are really good people in your life that can help you with this, or your best friend or your accountability partner. So keep them in mind as well when you're thinking about your systems. So the problem with goals is that they are future-based. They are always out of reach. So you set a goal, 3 months goes by, and then the goal is still not achieved. We set another goal, another 3 months goes by, and the goal is still not achieved. It's always just far away, right? That goalpost is always moving, that we never actually realize that goal. And that always happens in the fitness industry when you think about September, or you think about January, or you think about summer. Right now, people have the best of intentions. The kids are back in school. Their life is kind of back to normal a little bit. They're like, I'm going to get these 20 pounds off, and I'm going to feel really good when I get these 20 pounds off. But again, they set the goal and they didn't put the system in place. So now the 3 months goes by, all of a sudden we're back into, December and January, and here comes our New Year's resolutions, and it's the same goal we're trying to get there. So instead of doing that and repeating that, how can we move forward right now by setting a system in place so when December and January comes into play, that we're actually already far ahead and we've lost those 20 pounds and we didn't even notice we had lost those 20 pounds because we just created a system in place that was flawless, right? So let's break it down a little bit further when it comes to goals versus systems. So let's think about it versus a target, having a target in mind versus having a skill. So goals are target-based and systems are skill-based. So you're going to learn in the process of creating a system, but a goal, you're just going to have a target in mind, right? So let's start with somebody who wants to lose a significant amount of weight. Maybe they want to lose 60 pounds. They work really hard. They had their target in mind. This will generally be like that type A personality, and they're letting nothing stop them. They're so focused on that target goal that they took some extreme measures, but nonetheless, they made it happen. They did it. They lost their 60 pounds, but unfortunately, within 6 months, because there was no strategies put in place, there was no learning in this process, within 6 months, all the weight came back. And the question is why? Because there was no system in place. They didn't learn any coping strategies, why they gained the weight in the first place. They didn't honor their body. They didn't, put nutrition systems in place. They just did everything they could to get those 60 pounds off because that was the goal. They didn't create new habits. They just did what they had to do to get to that goal. So that means it was target-based, okay? Once you reach a target with a goal, it is now over. You set out to reach it, it's done. And what happens is you create this what's next mentality, which can be very dangerous for our mindset. And this creates this very yo-yo effect with training. So you hit a goal, what's next? You hit another goal, what's next? Are you learning in the process? What have you learned by achieving the goals you've achieved in your past? Are you creating a new healthy lifestyle for yourself? What have you gained by, reaching this goal? What triumphs have you overcome? What have you learned about yourself? What have you healed about yourself, right? When somebody gains a significant amount of weight, there is a reason for it. It's not that they just decided to be quote unquote lazy one day and they just gained 60 pounds. That's very rare. Usually when people gain weight, it's a coping mechanism. They've either endured trauma, they've gone through something really hard in life, and they have things that they need to heal from. So is the process or the journey that you're going through healing those traumas so that you don't continue that habit? You're changing that habit. And this is the difference between goals and systems. So is it target-based or is it skill-based? What are you learning? If you lose 60 pounds by changing the way you eat, by making healthy recipes, by, creating a community of wonderful people that are supportive for you, what are you gaining in that process? You're going to gain a lot. You're going to lose 60 pounds and you're going to gain a whole new you, which is wonderful. And you're going to heal a lot of your past traumas and you're going to put some strategies in place that are going to help you. Okay. They're going to serve you. So when all your hard work is focused on a particular goal, what is left to push you forward after you have achieved it? Okay. So this is why so many people find themselves gaining the weight back and they just revert to these old habits because the goal disappeared. That reason for getting to that goal is gone. Maybe it was to impress somebody. Maybe it was to get somebody back. Whatever that goal was, it doesn't matter. It's now they did it and the goal's gone, right? And then the habits come back. So we want to learn how to refine our skills, which is going to create a continuous improvement for yourself, a really healthy lifestyle, and also going to heal some things that need to be healed. And it's okay to take the time to heal. Systems allow you to build transferable skills that are going to pay you forward in the future, because we expand and grow in the process of working towards what we want, but not the end result. So what it is now, your end result is now this really healthy lifestyle. And one of the things about happiness that people tend to forget a lot is when you're growing and you're learning and you're expanding your world and you're working towards something, that creates a sense of happiness in the present. If you're constantly in the pursuit of weight loss, you're in the pursuit of happiness, it's never going to get there, because you get to that target, you have your happiness moment for about 5 minutes, and then it's done. And that's not what we want. The second one we're going to look at is momentary versus lifelong change. So goals create momentary change, kind of like that target. Systems create lifelong change because you're putting systems in place for your life. So let's talk about the kitchen, because we're keeping this fitness related. So imagine your fridge and cupboards are full of junk food and healthy options, right? And if you were to take a look at what's in your kitchen right now, there's no judgment. What does it look like? So let's say because it's September, you want this new change in your life, you're working towards this goal, and your goal today, because today you've got the time, your goal is to clean out that kitchen, and you're going to fill up that space with healthy options. You're going to throw out all the junk food because you've had enough. Summer's over now. The kids are back in school and you want everything to be healthy. So you take the day, you grocery shop, you clean everything out, and you fill up your cupboards and your fridge with all those healthy options. But what happens again, because it was a momentary change, usually a momentary change comes from a rock bottom moment. It's like, that's it, I've had enough, I feel like crap, I'm just going to clean out the kitchen, it's going to be gone. A week now goes by and all those healthy options are vegetables wilted in the fridge, right? And in your cupboards, all the healthy options get put to the back of the cupboards, and then suddenly all the unhealthy options start coming forward, right? So you accomplished your goal, you had that momentary change, but you actually didn't create change. The change was momentary and it did not serve your future. It lasted until that last stalk of salary wilted to its imminent death. Rest in peace, Mr. Salary. And I'm sure you probably spent a lot of money on healthy options that have also gone bad in the fridge. That's not what we want. We want to create lifelong change. So in order to do that, we need to create systems in your kitchen, right? Systems in your fitness programs. So you want to only shop for healthy options that your family will actually eat. So if you're thinking about having fruits and vegetables and grains and healthy things in your fridge or your cupboards, what are the things that your family does like that are healthy options that they are going to eat that are not going to wilt in your cupboards or your fridge? When you get home, could you take 2 minutes, create a system, cut up the veggies when you get home, put them in cold water, put them in a container so that when you're looking in the fridge and you're searching, they're right in front of you. One of the things that I love to do is I love to eat frozen blueberries. It's kind of like one of my weird quirks. So I'll buy a container of blueberries. Right now, if we're listening to this during the September season, the blueberries are a great season right now. I wash them, I put them on parchment paper on a baking tray, spread them all out. I put them in my freezer, take them out in a couple hours, and then I put them in little baggies and they're good to go. And then when I go into the freezer, I can grab my little baggie, put it into a little bowl, and I've got some frozen blueberries to eat because I like it. I find it delicious and it feels good to eat, right? So you want to put healthy options in the cupboard that are visible, but it doesn't mean that you can't have some other, treats or snacks in the fridge that you like to have. It doesn't mean you can never eat chips ever again. It just means, when you have, 2 options in your fridge, maybe some of the time you're going to the healthier options and maybe some of the times you just want your treat, and that's okay. But at least you're putting a system in place over the long term, but it doesn't need to be like all or nothing. You don't have to have an entire fridge fully stocked with only healthy options, right? It can be a little bit of both. And it's all about having balance in your life and thinking about that intuitive eating. How can I eat in a way that is serving me my goals, making me feel good, and also enjoying my life, right? So the question I have for you, and this is a good way to just pause right now, what ways can you put easy systems for healthy eating in your fridge? And you can also use this for fitness. What ways can you create easy systems for being healthy and active or exercising? So take a second to think. So same goes for fitness. If you're looking just to go to the gym once a week, which is momentarily, that's going to make you feel better. It's not going to create lifelong change. Going to the gym once a week or once every couple weeks because you're feeling bad about yourself is not a reason to go work out. Working out is just to give you stronger bones, stronger muscles, improve your cardiovascular system, and make you feel good, right? That's why we go to the gym. At the end of the day, I don't work out for weight loss. I have never worked out for weight loss. I work out because it makes me feel good. So I do it really at the end of the day for my mental health. I know that I've got to work out today. I know that if I work out on a regular basis, if I'm doing something every day, and once in a while I take a me day, but for generally I work out 7 days a week. But my workouts aren't so extreme that I can't do that either, right? I'm not an Olympian. I'm not trying to do 6 hours of fitness a day. 1 hour of fitness every day is really good for your body, as long as there's variety. So sure, by doing one workout, once in a while, it'll feel great, but you don't want to create a feeling. You don't want that great feeling to be don't you? Sorry, I read that wrong. Don't you want that feeling to be day to day? I do. I want myself to feel good every single day. And sometimes that's just going for a walk. Sometimes that's doing the gross grind. Sometimes that's going skiing for the day. I want to create a healthy body for myself because I know what the extreme feels like. I know what it feels like to be 350 pounds and not be able to do anything. And that's never going to happen in my life again. I'm going to slowly get to my final goal because it's important to me, and I need to do that through healthy eating and nutrition and exercising and weight training. It's all important. So when you work out on a regular basis, it's going to reduce your depression, it's going to reduce anxiety, it's going to reduce your stress. You are going to sleep better, your body is going to release body fat, and you're going to gain lean muscle tissue, which is going to serve your future for many, many years to come. So one workout really does nothing. That's that momentary change because you're having a bad day. But if you're doing this lifelong and you're creating these systems in place, this is how it's going to serve you. The next one, this should actually be number 3, sorry. Delayed happiness versus instant happiness, okay? And this is going to be a little bit of a mind play here because goals actually delay happiness until the goal is actually reached, right? But systems can create happiness every single day with the small wins that we put into place. So systems can actually create instant happiness, and they actually can build some momentum for us. And this is one of the cool things about them. So when people set a goal, the happiness that they feel is generally tied up with that goal. So you hear this, people say this all the time, sorry. When I reach my goal of losing 50 pounds, I will finally be happy. The truth is, whether or not you reach your goal, your happiness should not be tied to a goal. Happiness and joy come when we learn, grow, and challenge ourselves on a daily basis. Happiness is never when the house is finished. Happiness is never when I get the girl or get the guy. Happiness is never when I reach a goal weight. I can tell you right now, from someone who's lost a significant amount of weight, getting to a certain weight goal, which I thought when I got to my 100-pound goal would create happiness, it doesn't, because I'm generally a happy person day to day. So I like to live my life in contentment and spend time with people that bring me joy and do things that bring me joy. That is what happiness is. Getting to that certain number on the scale, it did not bring me happiness. Actually, when I hit that number, it actually brought up a lot of feelings of anxiety and stress because that number had a significance in my life. So I actually had a weird reaction to reaching that number. So let's not tie our happiness to a goal, right? That's delaying our gratification and really delaying our life, our happiness in life. You deserve to feel happy on a daily basis, okay? Each day when you create easy flowing systems that feel like mini wins, you will feel proud of yourself every day. So let's say you have a goal every day of having 10,000 steps done. Boom, that's wonderful. You had a great workout. Yay, that's awesome. Celebrate that win. You made a healthy meal and your family loved it. That's a win. Each day, fill yourself up with all the wins, and you're going to start building this sense of pride and accomplishments within yourself that will keep you moving forward. So when you will notice, when you have this big goal and you're going to notice that you reach that big goal, like I said, and it's not going to be a big deal because everything along the way was your wins. So you're going to have a moment like, oh, I did it. I made it to my 50-pound weight loss goal. But then have a moment, think about all the things that you've changed in your life for the better. That's the win. It's not the 50 pounds off the scale. The win is all the things that you put in place and how your life is generally improving. That's the win, right? So goals create a mindset of once I achieve my goal, I will be happy. And this leads to that chasing mentality. And it's never served anybody. Those people are still chasing happiness and they're still chasing those 50 pounds. You're never, ever going to get it. And anybody I've ever seen that's reached a goal has had a momentary bliss of happiness and then it's gone because now they're in the next pursuit and they're miserable until they get to that goal, and they get to that goal and they realize it wasn't about the goal. What did I learn in the process? Who was there along my journey? Who have I met that has helped me along the way? What has been fulfilling? New relationships have been fulfilling. Happiness is fulfilling. Chasing a goal is not fulfilling. Systems mentally shift your attention to the journey or the process, and you will end up, which I love, falling in love with your new lifestyle, falling in love with who you are now, falling in love with healing your trauma, falling in love with who you are and how you feel. All of this is going to feel like you have accomplished something. And that's why we want to shift our mentality from chasing to really thinking about the lifelong changes that we've gained, right? And the fun you've had in the process. I'm sure you get to do a lot of fun things. If your goal is in a year to, reach, if you have a goal, maybe you want to lose those 50 pounds in the next year, there's nothing wrong with that. But think about that year in that 365-day challenge, right? What are all the significant things that have changed in your life over those 365 days? What new friends have you made? What friendships that you have strengthened? What things have you learned about yourself? How has your body changed by weightlifting on a regular basis? How is your body feeling by moving on a regular basis? How much energy do you have by having, a healthy nutrition system put into place? Those types of things, right? So using a system like a 365 or this weight loss club that, we're getting a lot of benefits from, they create this automated system for you. So now you've got this system in place that's doing the work for you. By doing a 365, you're naturally creating an easy system. By joining a group like our weight loss club, you're now creating support and creating community and learning along the way. So you're putting systems in place for you. So the next thing we want to talk about is how to build a system. And I'm going to take a sip of my water. So if you do something every day, it is a system. If you are waiting to achieve something in the future, it is now a goal. That is Scott Adams, who wrote the other book. So there are some really important key ingredients in order to have systems put in your place. So when you think about systems can be put into for your financials. They can be put in place for losing weight. They can be put in place for healing traumas. It's a little tiny systems that you put in place that are going to be significant. So here are some key ingredients. So let's focus on them. So they need to be small. So I'm going to use being hydrated and drinking water as an example. So in order to build a better system, it has to be small. So the small system would be having a bottle of water beside your bed and waking up and taking a sip of your water. That is a small thing and put in place. It needs to be something that is consistent. So the night before, you make sure you have your glass of water or your bottle of water beside your bed. It's simple. All you have to do is wake up the next morning or that morning, have a sip of water. Small, consistent. It's easy. It doesn't take very much effort to get out of bed, open up the bottle of water and drink it. It has to be daily. So it's something that you can do on a regular basis. We go to bed every night. We wake up every morning. If you have a bottle of water beside your bed, it is now easy, it's daily, it's consistent, and it's a very small thing that is going to be a significant change, because if you wake up and you drink water every single morning, there's going to be some health benefits by doing something very simple, right? You're hydrating your body. It needs to be effortless. It doesn't take much effort to wake up, turn to the side of your night table, grab your drink of water and start drinking it. It is effortless. It also needs to be something that lacks willpower. Maybe there's going to be a little bit of adjustment phase, and that's going to be a small adjustment phase, but it can't be something that you're fighting every morning, because people have these grandiose goals. They're like, I'm going to wake up, I'm going to go for a 10K run every single morning. You are going to be fighting your willpower. You're going to be frustrated. You're going to be angry. It can't be so complicated that you fail within 3 days. So having your bottle of water, it's small, it's consistent, it's easy, it's daily, it's effortless, and it doesn't take a whole lot of willpower to drink out of a bottle of water. So is what the system that you're putting in place easy to add to your day-to-day life? These are those small atomic habits that are going to make a change, that are going to be very significant for your future. So do you enjoy it being in your life? Are you feeling the benefits, right? Same with fitness. You have to make fitness something that you enjoy. So when you're thinking about the classes at the studio, choose classes throughout the week that you enjoy, that you see benefits, that make you feel good at the end of the day. Yes, you're going to have to push yourself sometimes because you don't always feel like working out, but exercising on a daily basis, whether it's a walk or whether it's, going for a run or going to a fitness class, it needs to be something that you enjoy doing, right? So if you enjoy going outside, September is a beautiful time to walk. Go outside for your 20-minute walk. If you want to start your day walking every single day, can you imagine the changes that would take place if you started your day with a 20-minute walk, or you used your lunch hour for a 20-minute walk? By the end, you'd probably start losing weight and you didn't even know how you were losing weight because you put these systems in place. You're like, wait a minute, holy Toledos, right? It's like putting $5 in a tin every single day, not even noticing it. And then all of a sudden, by the time you get a year from now, you've got a lot more money, but you didn't even notice it because you just put it into a tin and you didn't even see it. It was easy, right? Simple things. But here comes the problem. If you have some negative systems in your life and they're not serving you, they're going to counteract the positive systems that you're putting in place. So we need to ask yourself, what things in my life, what daily habits do I have that are really not serving me at the end of the day or the beginning of the day or throughout my day, right? So if you have this habit of going through the drive-thru every morning and getting your breakfast meal, is that habit serving you? Is it counteracting all the things that you're trying to do for your life? You're starting to start off your day with drinking water, going for a walk, but then you go through a drive-thru and have an unhealthy food choice, right? So is that serving you? Are you going to Starbucks and having coffee that's, 10 calories, or are you going to Starbucks and having a 500 calorie coffee drink because that's what you want, right? That's not going to serve you your budget, your wallet, and it's not going to serve you in terms of calories, right? So we need to think about that. So before you jump onto creating a healthy system for yourself, first we need to look and identify what unhealthy or negative systems you have in place that may also be affecting your future or counteracting your positive changes, right? This can also be in terms of relationships or people in your life as well. So if you have people who are helping you and then serving you and, making life easier, you have a walking partner, that's wonderful. But if you have friends that you're seeing with on a regular basis and the only thing that you guys do together is eat, then we need to take a look at, maybe you can encourage those friends like, hey guys, instead of let's going for, going to eat, why don't we go for a walk today? So how can you influence the other people in your life that'll also be impacting our lives as well? So what systems need working on or changing in your daily habits or your daily life that you can work? So you can pause and take a look and maybe think about your habits in the next 3 days or your habits in the past 3 days. Have those habits in the past 3 days been serving you? If you're stuck at a weight and you're frustrated, or you notice in the last month or last 3 months that you've gained weight, you really have to take a hard look at what systems are in place that are not serving you. Is the habit eating in front of the TV? Is the habit staying up late at night that's not serving you? Is the habit, you're reading and you love reading, but are you eating while you're reading? Is the habit to not go for a walk, but just sit in front of the TV at the end of the day, right? Maybe you go for a walk first and then you watch your favorite show for an hour. You watch 1 episode instead of watching 4, right? Things that are serving you. So there's 3 steps to building systems. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to identify and list all the tasks that need to be done. The second thing we want to do is create a workflow for these tasks with deadlines or days. And then we want to track your main habit and we want to find a way to measure our progress. And this is when the 365 can really come into play and help us. So we want to do this together. This is where we start with our goals. This is where our goals come into play because we want to have a direction. Now, your direction doesn't have to be a specific goal. You can just say, in a year from now, I really want to be living a very different lifestyle. I really want to, have the energy to go work out. I really want to have less pain in my life. I really, I want to have friends that are really active. I want to have friends that do things with me. These are things that you can think about. And then maybe the weight loss is just the byproduct of your success. So before we take on the steps of building a better system, let's use our goal for what it is, giving us a sense of direction. So what is your goal? What do you want for yourself? Why did you specifically choose that goal? Why is that goal important to you, right? What would it mean to you by getting to that place in a year from now. And I like to think about any goals a year from now. I don't think choosing a goal and having 3 months is reasonable. Think about the lifestyle that you want to live. Okay. You can have a target in 3 months. Maybe I'd like to lose 10 pounds. But again, that doesn't give a lot of meaning. If you can say, in a few months, I'd like to weigh less and I'd like to feel better, that's probably going to have more meaning for you. In the process of reaching the goal, what lifestyle changes would you like to trigger that you would benefit from, right? So in the pursuit of these goals, or in that direction of that goal, so your goal, let's say your goal is weight loss because you do just want to get the weight off, which is great. What kind of lifestyle are you gonna benefit from? So by losing the weight, by adding fitness into your life, by eating healthier, by being more mindful of the choices that we're making, you're going to create this whole new lifestyle for yourself, right? And that's going to be beneficial, right? And how is the goal serving you or healing you, right? Our goals can definitely heal some wounds that are triggered and for the reason, like I said, we gain weight for different reasons. So when you get to that goal, has it helped serve you? Has it helped heal some things that needed to be healed in your life so that you can go on and live a really wonderful, productive life? And also, if you're finding, just a side note, it's really important to do the work on yourself. And this is why I always recommend therapy. I recommend a form of therapy called EMDR. It really helps people release a lot of trauma. So if, for instance, you've gained a significant amount of weight or you gained weight and you know that it's due to trauma, you know that it's due to things that have been really stressful in your life, go do that work on top of this. Go do that work while you're doing this. Find a therapist that's going to help you heal those wounds so that you can live a life that feels good and you don't sit in that trauma or that stress or that depression or that anxiety anymore. It just allows you to heal that stuff, because that's really important. And that's one of the things that I'm learning to heal the things that are no longer serving me. So we're going to move forward. So here's our building of our tasks, or building of our system. So we want to first list and task. Okay. So identify and list all the things that you need to do in order to build the system. So I'm going to use weight loss as a goal just because it's easy and this is what we're talking about. So in order to lose weight, we need to add exercise. Exercise and movement is a very important component of losing weight. Eating 2 healthy meals a day would be a really significant change in order to lose weight. Having a minimum of 5,000 steps a day would help you lose weight. So when you think about lists and tasks, what are things that you need to add to your life that will help you get towards that goal? So exercising, obvious. Eating healthy meals, obvious. Moving more, obvious. Maybe reading more, maybe doing yoga, maybe doing meditation, maybe doing therapy. These are things that you need. Maybe journaling every day is going to help you get there. Okay. So remember, this is not about overwhelming yourself. What simple things can you add into your daily life or weekly life that are going to move you forward? So you could look at this in terms of a 7-day, a weekly task list, or you can look at this as daily. A weekly would probably be the best thing, I would say, because maybe you're not going to exercise every single day, but maybe you can say, I need to work out 4 days a week, and then you commit to that. Maybe not every single meal is going to be healthy, but if I eat 1 or 2 healthy meals and I'm mindful of it, or healthy snacks, that's going to definitely help you lose weight. By getting a minimum of 5 to 10,000 steps a day, that's definitely going to help you. Journaling every night, practicing gratitude, connecting with friends and people who help you get to where you want to go, who show up for you when you need the help, that is beneficial. Having, working with a therapist a couple times a month will help you heal some things that are, hindering your success, those types of things. So take a second and just write a list that's important to you. Second thing is really that workflow. So this is when these things will happen. This is more kind of creating an action step or an action plan. So saying to yourself that we can use the water as a system, right? Getting up first thing in the morning and having a glass of water is going to help you get towards. So that's just making a concrete plan. I will wake up every morning and have my glass of water. Maybe for some of you, it's walking. I will wake up a little extra early every morning and go for a 30-minute walk. Maybe some of you are taking your kids to school. You're going to walk your kids to school every day. It's a good habit for your children. It's a good habit for you. And then after you drop the kids off at school, take the long way home. And use that time of especially with moms and dads where you're busy and you're tired and you're stressed out. taking 30 minutes after you drop off the kids at school, if you don't have to go to work after, maybe that's some time for you. That's some time to think about your goals, think about things that are important to you, right? Put on some music and just enjoy your morning. And rain or shine, rain or snow, keeping these healthy habits. Nobody's going to melt if they walk in the rain. I will ensure I have easy access to fresh, healthy snacks every day, ready to go. So instead of like that, destroying your kitchen and having one day where you just make it all there, just every day you just make sure that there's some healthy snacks available for you and for the family. I will alternate days for my fitness class. Maybe you're not ready to do every single day, or you're not ready to work out every day. For me, working out every day is important to me. Like I said, 60 minutes a day or 45 minutes a day of cardio and some weight training definitely make my mental health better. But for some people, maybe you just need to alternate your fitness days. So you say Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday, those are my days I work out. Those are my non-negotiables. And this isn't about willpower. This is saying to you, I'm going to work out on these days. These are non-negotiables, and I'm doing it because it serves my mental health. I'm doing it because it serves my future physical health. That's why it's important to you. You need to make sure that you're not just saying, I'm going to work out Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm going to work out Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday because my mental health depends on it. My stress level depends on it. I will feel better. My body depends on it. Losing weight is important to me because I want to stay healthy. That's why I'm working out. I will put water beside my bed to start my day hydrated. Simple things. And then you want to make sure that you're tracking your progress, right? You want to be able to reflect a year from now how far you've come. You can do this through social media. You can do this through journaling. You can do this on an app. You can do this on your phone. So the goal is to track the main habit that becomes a system. And this is why I fully believe in a 365-day challenge. And no one has to know about it. You don't have to share it with anybody. But you decide as of today, right? Start today. Don't start tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. Start today. Today's day one. I listen to this, and that's day one, right? What are you going to do for yourself for the next 365 days that are going to help you get to where you want to go? So I always say do something that is a little bit challenging, but that's going to, require effort, but that you can easily accomplish that day. So for instance, having a goal doing 10,000 steps a day is a very simple place to start with the 365-day challenge. It means you have to go for some walks throughout the day. Walking 10,000 steps is about 90 minutes of walking and moving throughout your day. So you could schedule, I'm going to go for a 30-minute walk in the morning, 30-minute walk in the afternoon, 30-minute walk at daytime. It doesn't even include all the stuff you do throughout the day. So generally, it could just be 2 30-minute walks, right? One fitness class usually gets about 4,000 steps. So it's just moving throughout the day and being accountable. So 365 really creates accountability and consistency and helps you build healthy habits. It helps you celebrate your wins at the end of the day. And it takes a year-long approach in order to changing your lifestyle versus instantly bombarding yourself with all the things you have to do today. So the focus is about getting better each day through the small systems that are being put into place into your life. Willpower has to be eliminated. Remember, you can push yourself a little bit, but if it's like, grinding at something every day, it's not going to become a habit. So the systems is going to take a little bit of time to build. And then you're going to get used to it. But for the most part, it becomes enjoyable. I really love doing a 365 because it makes me aware of where I'm at every single day. So like I've said, those who know me, I've done 2 365 challenges that I completed, and I lost about 60 pounds in each of them. That helped me get the initial weight off when I first started losing weight. And I'm doing another one just to get to my final goal. So I do have a goal in mind. I know where I want to go, but I'm really using this challenge to do harder things throughout my 365. So I'm making sure that I do a grind every week or as often as I can. Sometimes I do 2 a week. I'm making sure that I'm changing the way I eat. I'm making sure that I'm doing things that are healthier for me. And I'm really taking a mental health focus on this one. So I'm really working on healing some wounds that I need to heal and, adding value into my life by bringing people into my life that are serving me. So I'm really taking a different approach with this one, but a 365, I'm telling you, will definitely help you. And it doesn't take a lot of work. You just say what day you're on and then what your focus is on. And at the end of the day, you celebrate it and sharing it with your community, which you can do on our weight loss support group page or sharing it on a TikTok. I do mine on TikTok on the InnerFit page or InnerFit TikTok. You can do it on social media. Your friends will cheer you along. Have people in your life who support you. Have people in your life who are like, wow, look how far you've come. Keep those people around. Anybody else who is in your life that is not serving you, you have to say goodbye. It doesn't need to be a big dramatic thing. You just let them go and then focus on the people who are helping you. So here's the thing. Here's the cool thing. The coolest thing about having a system and putting systems in place, and it's not going to be perfect, but it will long term, you are going to create a happier, healthy version of you. And that is the best part about doing this. Instead of just setting goals, you're really thinking about systems that you're putting in place that are going to serve you in terms of creating a lifestyle that is going to benefit you 5 years from now, 10 years from now, in your senior years, right? Your life will literally change if you take this approach. So if you're tired of where you're at and you're sick of being in the same place and you're frustrated and you want to change your life, don't change it overnight. Start by adding some healthy systems that long-term are going to become natural habits for you, and then you're going to see changes, right? It doesn't take 21 days to create a habit. It depends on what the habit is. And remember, it can take a period of time to create negative habits too. So think about those negative habits and how are you going to change them? You didn't create those negative habits overnight. It's going to take time to change them. Some habits take about 90 days to become part of your life. Some habits take 3 days to become a natural part of your life. You know, if you start drinking water every single day, I would say within about 10 days, that's going to become a pretty consistent habit for you, right? And now you don't even have to think about it. Now that habit becomes part of your lifestyle. So by changing small, tiny things in your life, you're directly impacting your future day in and day out. And I guarantee you're going to be impacting the people in your life as well. So your family is going to be impacted by your healthy changes. Over a year, you will see and feel a difference by eliminating these negative systems or habits that you have in place and creating positive systems that are going to help you grow. Okay, so let's start small. What little itty bitty tiny system can you put into place today that will make you feel good this week and is totally doable? I want you to take a second, write it down. Okay, and if you're struggling with figuring out this one, start with the water thing. At nighttime when you go to bed, put a bottle of water beside your bed and start drinking more water. Water is really good for your body. It's going to help you feel more hydrated. Okay. How can you build upon that system next week or in 10 days? So now that you master that water piece, what's the next thing? Maybe journaling is where you want to start. Maybe exercising on a daily basis is where you want to start. Maybe walking is where you want to start. Do things for you. Maybe the habit is actually, when it comes to nutrition, maybe you know you're struggling in nutrition, so you're gonna focus on having healthy meals for the next 7 days in your house, okay? Or cooking one healthy meal every day, okay? So list 5 easy things you can do this week or this month. It doesn't have to be this week. Write them down: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, what are some easy, simple things that you can do? So just a few takeaways just to kind of bring this together when we're talking about goals versus systems. Systems replace motivation with routine. You don't need to search deep within your soul to go find the motivation to go work out. It just becomes part of your routine. Just a quick thing about fitness in terms of fitness goals. Instead of having a fitness goal of a goal of like losing 50 pounds, start thinking about your fitness in terms of like things you want to accomplish. So I want to be able to feel confident running a 5K. I want to be able to skip for a minute straight. I want to be able to do 10 really good push-ups. I want to see my bicep muscles. I want to see my shoulder muscles when I'm working out. I want to be able to go do the gross grind with Rachel. Maybe that's a goal, and I would love to take you. Okay, so they create routine. Goals are really hard to follow up on because you finish the goal and it's done, and it's always that what's next mentality. Systems are consistently rewarding. Every day you're rewarding yourself with those systems. Goals generally carry a very negative mindset. And I'm going to say that as a fitness coach for the last 25 years, very, very rarely do I see a positive thing that comes out of goals. I love when people have a system in place and they accomplish that goal through the system. That's the positive experience. And you can focus on your systems daily. It's not in the future. You get to enjoy the journey and stay present. That's the part about setting up systems, right? We're very present. We're not living for accomplishing that goal, right? We're living for, having the mini wins every single day. You want to make sure that you're creating an easy flow system so that very little or minimal willpower is needed. And a takeaway is have a direction with the goal, but build a system and reap the rewards long term. That's what's going to matter, okay? Systems are more realistic and they are flexible. And then the big takeaway that I hope you get from this is that you celebrate the wins every single day and share those wins with people that are important to you, because that is important to share. When you lose weight, think about it as 1 pound at a time. That's why our club is called 1 pound at a time, because we're celebrating losing 1 pound at a time. And that is going to lead to bigger goals. So thank you for being part of this. Thank you for listening. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to join me. I highly recommend, if anybody's on a weight loss goal, to join our 1 pound at a time weight loss club. I'll put the link below. And I hope you have a wonderful day.